Welcome back to In Today's Timeline, episode number 6. I am excited about this week because I have Marvel topics and comics to talk about. So let's get to it. I will be starting with X-Men number 4. It's kind of like a Halloween episode from a few weeks back. Let's see what we have for this one. The art by Javier Pina and writer Gary Duggan. Not my best comic for the week. I didn't like it a lot. The story's very compressed and just a few things there. I mean, we have a villain, Nightmare, which is not my favorite. They do tie it in a little bit with the death of Doctor Strange. So they're like, oh, because Doctor Strange isn't there to protect us, he's able to come into our plane and attack. Most of the X-Men are asleep, so they're just having nightmares. And Jean Grey is awake, and she's able to stop the threat. Then we have a little villain in the making, really cool at the end of it. This guy called Kevin Heng, which is his alias is Fei Long, and he's trying to do some kind of cosmic ray harnessing to boost up his powers, and he's preparing his body for Mars. He was always the one that was going to go there and prepare it for people, so he's really pissed that the X-Men just took over Mars, and he's now like, what do I do with my life? So he's starting to get powers, and I'm excited to see how powerful he'll get. And story was very short, very direct, and not much happening to it. Nice colors. I mean, I must say that the art's nice and coloring's awesome, but apart from that, I'm just gonna skip right through it. Justice.
All right. Well, that was not a great start, I suppose. My start for the week is Joker issue 9. I got the nice variant cover there. James Tynion, his run on DC Comics is coming to an end, but Joker 9 kind of continues what we've been following the last 8 issues, and that is just Jim Gordon hunting Joker across the world. Vengeance is there. That's the new female Bane. And we finally meet our third player, who is this Leatherface Texas Chainsaw family that had somebody at Arkham when it was gas, so they want to kill Joker. They show up at the end. They grab the clown, as they say. Jim Gordon gets stabbed. That's how it ends. He calls for help. Calls his daughter. Also, we found out that James Gordon Jr., Jim Gordon's son, is now apparently a Talon. The Court of Owls has him and is using him. Last issue or 2 issues ago, they sent him to attack Barbara Gordon. They were able to fend him off. 3 Batgirls versus him was no match for him. But this issue really brought up a lot of previous Joker stories. The Killing Joke, Batman Cataclysm, and then, of course, Jim Gordon's son dying. So we'll see where this book continues. We're going to meet our third player probably not next month. January, we'll see more of this family from Texas, this angry redneck hillbilly, inbred family looking people. Because next month it looks like it's going to be another flashback issue. But that's all I got for that one. Back to you.
Okay. Well, I'll be moving into The Trial of Magneto, number 3. I've reviewed all the previous 2, which were pretty awesome. Interesting storyline, Magneto killing the Scarlet Witch. And now, so at the start of this one, Scarlet Witch kind of comes back to life, and everyone's very shocked because the Avengers came to the X-Men island, and they're there to recover her body, but suddenly she wakes up, and everyone's like, how can this happen? What's going on? But weirdly enough, since Magneto actually said that he was guilty for killing her, and she's back to life, the Avengers are like, it's not completely over, and we're still going to revisit this, because now it's a lot weirder how this happened, come here for her body, and she's alive. Let's see, and she doesn't remember anything from way back, she doesn't remember her kids, doesn't really remember much about Vision, but she's there, and she seems very happy, very easygoing. Suddenly, 3 massive kaiju show up. Very cool. I'm thinking that Cordyceps Jones is still sending weird things to the X-Men, but now we have an Avengers team fighting with the X-Men, which is very cool. That one, I'll give them that. Awesome. And this is a book done by a female writer, Leah Williams, so very interesting story. And we have Lucas Wernick as and David Messina on the art, which is really cool. Especially seeing the Avengers in here. And let's see, a special heads up and shout out to Edgar Delgado for the color art, because he does have some pretty good panels. Wanda has a little cycle of death and rebirth towards the end. It's like they're in the middle of like a chaotic, dark energy land. And right at the last page, we see a old woman Wanda. So like Old Man Logan, but old woman Wanda, and they kind of just talk there. So nothing really happening on that end.
Comics do love their old characters.
Yeah, well, seeing how well as Old Man Logan did, we'll see if old woman Wanda has anything, whether she grabs the attention of all the comic book readers or not. We will see. See if I missed anything on that one. No. So, I mean, it's a pretty solid book so far. A lot of interesting things coming into play in there. And, yeah, we'll come back to you, Justin.
All right. My second book of the week is Robin and Batman by Jeff Lemire, art by Dustin Nenwin, something like that. This is a flashback to the beginning of their career. Dick Grayson kind of thinks he's getting he calls it a fairy tale. But then at the end, he's kind of thinking he could be in a nightmare. As there are now monsters. He has met Killer Croc. He has interacted with Killer Croc. At the end, it's kind of hinted that Killer Croc knows who Robin is based off of the smell. Because he does remember the circus where Dick Grayson is from. And then obviously getting a smell of Robin when he's fighting him. So we will see where that leads. Great art in this one. You get some really cool silhouettes of Batman coming out of the Batmobile right at the beginning. But this book definitely has Batman almost as an antagonist. He's trying to tell Robin that he's not ready. Robin's trying to prove that he is ready. And that kind of gets him into some hot water with Batman. So we'll see where that one goes. Issue 2 out next month.
Very nice.
Send it back.
Cool. Last one I have on the Marvel end is Inferno Number Two. Again, Inferno 1. We talked about it a few weeks ago. Awesome. To me, it's a pick of the week on the Marvel end. It's just a great story by Jonathan Hickman and Stefano Caselli on the art. It's like they just knocked it out of the park. The whole thing about Mystique, we finally figured out how she was able to bring back Destiny. We know that Professor X, Magneto, and Moira McTaggart do not want Destiny to be around for whatever obscure reason. She somehow triggers the Nimrod, final Sentinel, and eventually everyone dies. So this is the end of the current X-Men run, apparently. Let's see, Mystique brings back Destiny. She is able to vote her into the Quiet Council. So now she's there, another great turn of events, and how Mystique bribed everyone in order to get their votes for being a yes for Destiny to get into the Quiet Council. They are married, that's why she was so adamant on bringing her back. Mystique and Destiny. Now, let's see, we get a little panel on the Orcus Forge, and we do see Nimrod kind of learning and talking to the people around there, so he's kind of pretty far ahead, so I'm kind of getting worried that my X-Men are going to be completely decimated soon, and it will be a cool fight at least. Towards the end, Professor X, Magneto, and Moira McTaggart tell Emma Frost about how Moira is a mutant, and she gets to see inside her mind, sees all the time she's come back to life. Emma Frost is pretty angry at this, and she says that she finally realizes how much power precogs actually have over the world and how they are dangerous. And the last thing on the issue is we get Colossus being voted into the council as well, because they had lost 2 members. So now the council is complete. And yeah, that's a really good storyline. I'm enjoying this one a lot, and I can't wait for number 3 to come out. Justin?
All right. So my final pick of the week is not DC or Marvel. It is Primordial issue 2. Again, Jeff Lemire. Andre Sorrentino on art, who we'll talk about again here in a minute. And then Dave Stewart on colors, who is amazing as always. I didn't get a chance to talk about the first issue, but a very quick recap is the Russians and the U.S. are in a space race to get animals into space, and they both simultaneously cancel their space programs. They shut them both down, and we're kind of following the scientist who wants to know why. And you find out that both animals, the ones the Russians sent, which is a dog, and a monkey that the U.S. sent, have just simply disappeared. Something has taken them. The first issue followed heavily on the human side of things. You do see the animals at the end. This one followed more of the dog that the Russians have sent into space. And yeah, they are somewhere very empty, I guess is the word for it. Just this like white open room. They can talk to each other, so there's that.
Are they both together right now?
They're all together now, yes. That is how issue 1 ended. This is how issue 2, you see them again. They don't really interact. It's mostly the backstory for the dog. This is only a 6-issue miniseries, every 2 weeks from Image. Next week is about the monkey the U.S. sent to space. So, again, that's probably my pick of the week. I liked issue 1 a little bit more just because I'm enjoying the more human spy aspect of it. Everybody's really worried, are you a Russian? Are you, an American? Because it is set in the 60s. So, yeah. But I think that's all for that one. I think it's time to get to our final book.
One that we both actually read.
Yeah, we both read this one. Batman the Imposter 2. Again, Mattson Tomlin, Andre Sorrentino again, and Jordi Belair on colors.
Yeah, Sorrentino always does a great job with this one. I mean, all of his books. I mean, you said Primordial, but on this one especially, like the art's amazing. A very dark Batman that you see in the background. I like his long 2-page spread.
A lot of big spread art. 2 especially in this one. There's one that's like a clock, and you have to read it left to right. And then there's the other one near the end. When he's hugging the detective, telling Dr. Thompson that he has fallen in love, Tompkins. So we'll see where that goes. But kind of the big part of this issue is there even an imposter? Or is Batman the imposter? Is he just simply insane? That's sort of hinted at the end, when Ratcatcher seems to think he's been talking to the same Batman all along. But we also know Ratcatcher's insane.
Yeah, so a lot of insane people here. Yeah, that last panel when he's like, "Hey, Batman, what are you talking about? You're my friend."
Right,
and now the book is trying to throw us away from this. They're an actual imposter, but also I keep thinking there's a new cop, like the partner to the female cop that's in the case. He seems a little aggressive. Maybe him.
I think he's an option as the imposter. Any of these business tycoons.
What about the guy that was fighting him in that building? Who was he? Was he just a random?
Could be just random. He could be the imposter. We got 1 issue left. Comes out about 4 weeks from now. That'll wrap it all up. We'll find out who the imposter is. Is there even an imposter? Was kind of the big question posed this week.
And also the no butler. They made it very clear in this this comic that there was no butler. That Bruce has never really been keen on butlers either.
And Alfred doesn't really like Bruce when he's a child. This is a quite different Alfred than we usually get. Normally Alfred's very sympathetic, very helpful, kind of steps into that father figure role. In this one, he even says, "I didn't even want the job. Can we just give him some medication so I don't have to deal with him anymore?"
Yeah, and then he gets dismissed after that. And
yeah, we don't really see him again, so he could be the imposter. We never see we have not seen the imposter fight anybody directly, so could be. We'll see there. But on to the news of the week, I think.
Yeah, we had a lot of news.
Ton of news came out yesterday.
Yeah, so a lot of Marvel just went full on nuts, and like formally announced all the things that were in the works.
Yeah. We put out logos for every project.
Wherever you go, they're all up there. So notable mentions there for me. I'll start with the X-Men 97 continuation to the series that we've already seen, which was awesome, like iconic for the X-Men, especially Wolverine in his yellow suit. So cool. Can't wait for it to come out.
This is also the first X-Men project with Marvel since they got the rights back.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that, so that would be even better.
No other movies or shows have been announced involving the X-Men. This one is animated, so it's probably not in the MCU. But Marvel is going to start digging into that bag of X-Men and Fantastic Four.
How about time?
Reverted back from Fox.
We'll always say that. Fantastic Four needs to come back home. We need to get a good Johnny Torch, man.
Yes, how about just a good Fantastic Four movie? How about we start there? Get John Krasinski as Reed Richards and just run with it. There you go. There's the movie.
So let's just go through these. We'll talk about the important ones. We got Miss Marvel, a TV show.
That one has been known for a while. That one's really late into production. That is probably first or second after Hawkeye. And then we got Moon Knight next, which is probably the one I'm excited for. Oscar Isaac is playing Moon Knight, Mark Spector. So we'll see how violent Marvel wants to go with this.
I mean, it's still going to be Disney, so I mean...
It is still Disney, but Moon Knight is a very violent vigilante, so we will see...
At the very least, a very heavy 13 on the PG-13.
Yeah, they should definitely push the bar with that if they can. They should go as far as they're allowed to, rating-wise.
She-Hulk.
That's another one that pretty late into production. That's out next year.
Let's see. Echo. Well, I want to talk about the Agatha one. That was a spin-off, pretty much, of the character that was on WandaVision.
So that has been rumored for a while. Yep. So we'll see if it's a prequel or sequel. She is kind of imprisoned right now. So we'll see if anything in Doctor Strange. As a side note, Doctor Strange just went back for heavy reshoots, as they rumored did not know about Loki and how he would mess with the multiverse.
Wow.
So that's the rumor that's going around right now. So Echo is the spinoff of Hawkeye. Then we got Spider-Man.
An animated one.
Yep, animated. Spider-Man freshman year, animated. Ironheart, which is an Iron Man spinoff.
That's pretty much the Wakandan chick taking over, or is it just the random?
She's gonna be. Her rumored first appearance is Black Panther 2.
Okay.
That's one thing they keep talking about. So we'll see how she ties in. Obviously, Black Panther 2 will come out before this show. And then, of course, we have Marvel Zombies, another new animated show. The Agatha show, which you had mentioned.
Invasion would be really
Secret
cool.
Invasion is live action. We saw a slight tease of that. We saw Sam J as Nick Fury.
Yeah, that'll be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I Am Groot, another animated show. James Gunn is on as executive producer. Somebody asked him on Twitter if he was involved. And then the final big announcement, I guess, would be the What If Season 2, which I think was heavily implied. I would have been surprised if it didn't get announced.
I mean, there's no reason for them not to do it, since there's just a bunch of stories and you can just keep creating.
Right. There's literally limitless potential in that show. You can do whatever you want. Nothing counts.
Yeah, and Marvel itself already has a line of What If comics, so you could just draw from that.
Draw from them. You can make your own. So
I think that's it on the announcements, I believe.
Yeah, I have no other news to add there. So Marvel 12 confirms shows coming out over the next 3 years. So we'll see. I would say Moon Knight is probably my most excited for show.
I mean, I'm going to be a kid about it and still say X-Men 97. But then Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion's probably a close second. That'll be an intriguing it's an intriguing storyline to attempt live action. A lot of moving pieces.
So, yeah, we'll see how they do it. So, yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up there. And, well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.